Hi everyone, welcome to this channel. Today's story takes us to the remote and rugged coast of Scotland, where the wild North Atlantic crashes against the lonely cliffs. Here, amidst the untamed beauty of the sea, there are islands that stand as silent sentinels against the relentless waves. Among these, the Flannan Isles hold a place of intrigue and mystery. It was here in December of 1900 that an incident occurred that continues to baffle and haunt those who hear the tale. As the cold winds whipped across the barren landscape, three men stood steadfast, diligently tending to the Flannan Isles Lighthouse. These were the keepers, the guardians of the light, entrusted with the crucial task of keeping ships safe from the treacherous rocks and shallows that lay beneath the stormy waters. Thomas Marshall, a young man of just 28, James Duckett, the seasoned head keeper of 43, and Donald MacArthur, a strong and steady 40-year-old relief worker. Together they braved the solitude and the unforgiving elements, their presence a beacon of hope for sailors navigating the treacherous seas around them. The lighthouse itself was a stalwart structure of granite and grit, standing defiant against the wrath of the ocean. Its lantern room perched atop the highest point, casting its brilliant beam into the darkness, serving as a lifeline for weary travelers at sea. But the serenity of this routine was soon shattered by the arrival of winter. Storms of unprecedented ferocity began to brew on the horizon, hurling themselves against the Flannan Isles with unrelenting force. Waves rose, crashing and roaring, threatening to engulf the very foundation of the lighthouse. The wind screamed like a banshee, whipping around the tower, testing the mettle of those who dared to confront it. And yet the keepers held firm, their courage tested by the howling gales and the drenching spray. Days turned into weeks, the storm showing no signs of relenting. And as the men toiled to keep the light burning brightly through the gloom, a sense of unease began to creep over them. The very essence of the island seemed to be changing. The cries of gulls mingled with the ceaseless roar of the waves, creating a symphony of isolation that echoed in their ears. The rhythmic pulse of the churning sea became a constant companion, a relentless reminder of the raw power that surrounded them. They continued their duties, making daily log entries detailing the severity of the weather and the efforts they were making to keep the light operational. In the log dated December, there's a chilling entry written by the hands of Thomas Marshall. Sea breaking over the cliffs. Light obscured, very heavy surf, frightful crash of water, wind blowing from the SSW, he wrote, capturing the terrifying spectacle unfolding before them. 2 doors off their hinges, windows smashed, paraffin tins and cases washed away, besides barrels of water, several heavy falls of rain. Light out for 3 hours, had to bail out the engine room daily. Boot room full of water, rain pouring through ceiling of day room. Donald prayed in the morning and at night. James very quiet. All hands busy clearing the approaches. This stark account offers a glimpse into their world, revealing the immense challenges they faced as they struggled to maintain the lighthouse operations amidst the chaos of the storm. And then there's the entry from December. Storm ended, sea calm, it reads. God is over all. Who knows what dark thoughts were echoing in the men's minds as they penned these words? Was there a premonition of doom? It's a sense of impending tragedy that hung heavy in the air. Now imagine the scene. You're one of the men standing beside the towering waves, battling the elements to keep the beacon alive. Fear must have been a constant companion. The thought of being swallowed by the raging sea, of losing your life in this desolate place, would have loomed large in their minds. Then there's the isolation, the feeling of being completely cut off from the world. The storm raged for days, turning the Flannan Isles into a fortress of sorts, shielding them from the outside. In the midst of it all, there was a shared understanding among the keepers, a bond forged in the face of adversity. But the strain of the situation must have been palpable. Each crashing wave, each gust of wind threatened not only the lighthouse, but their very survival. As the storm reached its crescendo, the men struggled valiantly to hold back the tide, both of the sea and of their emotions. The lighthouse, once a symbol of hope and guidance, now stood as a bulwark against the relentless assault of the elements. It was a battle against the fury of the natural world, a fight to keep the light burning for those who were lost at sea. And yet despite the danger, they persevered, driven by a sense of duty and a desperate hope that the sun would shine again. But the storm didn't relent. It kept battering the Flannan Isles, testing the strength of the lighthouse and the resilience of its keepers. Then, as abruptly as it began, the storm ceased. The waves subsided, the wind hushed, and an eerie calm descended upon the island. When the sun finally broke through the clouds, it revealed a scene of devastation. The lighthouse was battered and bruised, its windows shattered, its walls scarred. The men emerged from their ordeal shaken but resolute, yet the tranquility that followed the storm was deceptive. It was a lull before another tempest, a brief respite in the face of a larger drama that was about to unfold. For when the next supply ship arrived at the Flannan Isles on December 26th, what the crew found was beyond anything they could have imagined. The lighthouse was eerily silent, devoid of any sign of life. The men were nowhere to be seen. When they entered the building, they discovered the dining table set as if for a meal that was never eaten. A chair lay overturned, suggesting a sudden commotion. And the logbook offered cryptic entries that hinted at the turmoil within the lighthouse. All these clues pointed toward a mystery that defied rational explanation. Where had the men gone? Had they been lost to the sea? Had they succumbed to the pressures of their isolated existence? The absence of the men sent shockwaves through the small community that relied on the lighthouse for guidance and safety. It was a beacon not only for sailors, but for the people of the Flannan Isles and those who lived along the treacherous coastline. The disappearance of the men who tended the light cast a long shadow of fear and uncertainty over the seafarers who depended on its unwavering glow. As the news spread, a search and rescue operation was launched, combing through the waters around the Flannan Isles, hoping to find some trace of the missing men. But the sea gave up no answers. Day turned into night, and still there was no sign of the lighthouse keepers. The emptiness of the tower echoed their absence, a haunting reminder of the mystery that had descended upon them. The truth was, the fate of the men guarding the Flannan Isles remained elusive, lost in the same sea they had sworn to help navigate. Now, theories abound regarding what might have befallen the three men. Some believe that a freak wave, a sudden and unexpected surge of the ocean, must have struck the island, snatching the men away in an instant. Others speculate that a landslide, a treacherous shift of the unstable cliffs, could have claimed them, plunging them into the depths below. Still, others whispered tales of a more supernatural nature, suggesting that the men were taken by unseen forces, lost to the whims of the sea. But amidst these theories, one thing remains clear. The mystery of the Flannan Isle Lighthouse Keepers continues to captivate and haunt our collective imagination. The story serves as a somber reminder of the raw power of nature and the fragility of life in the face of the untamed elements. It leaves us pondering the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity and the enduring allure of the unknown. As we ponder the fate of these brave souls, we're reminded of the unforgiving nature of the sea and the boundless curiosity that drives us to explore its depths, both literal and metaphorical. The legacy of the Flannan Isles lives on, not just as a maritime tragedy, but as a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who dare to confront the challenges of the natural world. What do you think happened to the keepers of the Flannan Isles? Do you believe that a freak wave, a landslide, or some other force was responsible for their disappearance? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to give this video a thumbs up for more intriguing mysteries and captivating stories. Let's continue to explore the unknown together. Thanks for watching.